Is Mr. Charles Dulo, who is Chairperson, Commission on Administrative Justice since 2024 December. Of course, he is a seasoned legal expert with over 20 years experience in law, academia and governance. He is a founding member and senior lecturer at Daystar University School of Law, a regional legal consultant, and has led Dulo and Company Advocates since 2007. Karibuni sana.
Thank you.
And of course, this right here happens to be your first major interview since taking office.
Yes.
That was in December. And what are currently your immediate priorities for the Commission, in executing its mandate?
Well, thank you very much for having me, and good evening, viewers. Of course, our commission is a Chapter 59 commission, which means that our mandate is given by law. The first mandate that we have is to check on public maladministration in both national and county government. Mm-hmm. The second mandate that we have is of, excuse me, enforcing access to information. Access to Information Act 2016 is where citizens can ask for information, and it's in furtherance of a realization of Article 35. Mm-hmm. And so we also enforce that. And in enforcing that, our mandate doesn't kick in until after 21 days. In other words, you have to request for the information.
Right.
And if it is not granted after 21 days, then you can come to us and complain. And then we'll be able to take up with the institution that is not giving you that. In terms of other mandate, we are involved in training people what we call alternative dispute resolution, grievance redress mechanism, and also on access to information. We train public servants because they are the ones who mainly are asked this information. Mm-hmm. And because of that, we have partnered with the national government, where we give them what we call certificates, right. Performance certificate based on the complaints that they have resolved within a given financial year. And so we deal with performance contracting for both national government and county government as well.
All right. Now, Mr. Charles, we have seen your reports on the Pensions Department, as well as the Ministry of Lands and, the judiciary. These are some of the reports that we've seen of late. Now, are institutions as of late becoming more receptive and more responsive? And how exactly are you navigating pushback from state or, public agencies and officers who are resistant to the Commission's oversight?
Thank you very much. One of the things that we know as oversight institutions is that you will be loved and hated in equal measure. Yes. And it comes with the territory. For the ones who don't understand our mandate, we normally just want to educate them and let them know this is what we are doing, this is why we are doing what we are doing. And we explain to them why it is important that they comply. Where in extreme cases they fail to comply, then we have powers within the law and the Constitution that we sparingly use, like the summons and things like that. And so a few of them have now started realizing that we actually there to help them in ensuring that service delivery to Wanjiko is given. Mm-hmm. Majority of them understand, and most of them, when we write to them, they respond quickly and address the issues that we raise. The others who are obstinate, and there are a few others, then we make sure that we come down hard on them to ensure that they comply.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Maybe you can take us through some of the key achievements and milestones that the Commission has reached over the past decade. And of course, just a few of them. We wouldn't want you to stay here until tomorrow, but yes, just a few of the key achievements that you've managed so far and being able to address the administrative injustice, especially when it comes to oversight and access to information and the enforcement of that. So how exactly is the Commission working to ensure that all these things are working seamlessly? And yeah, maybe take us through some milestones.
Well, one of the things that we do is is that we engage in public advocacy and letting people know. In terms of complaints resolved over the years, we've had, since inception, we've had about 45,000 complaints, but I want to speak to the statistics of the last couple of years, like last financial year. In 2020, from January last year to December, we had received about 2,300 complaints. Okay. And the resolution rate is almost at 80%. Now, after all this, when we took over, between January and June, we have received 2,800 complaints, which is more than what was received the whole of last year. And we're seeing that the complaints is going to go up. In terms of access to information, I wouldn't want to talk much in terms of achievement because access to information is barely 9 years old. It was in 2016. But we have made quite strides in terms of achievement. The complaints we received the whole of last year was 389. But for this year, between January and July, we have already received 267 complaints. So it means that people are getting more aware as a result of us training them, as a result of us going out to be seen there. Now, there's a lot of things that the Commission has achieved. We have participated in terms of building capacity for the county governments. I think we have visited, since I came in, we visited over 21 counties. And we've been helping them to set up grievance redress mechanism as well as access to information. In fact, the Access to Information Act, the county governments are supposed to enact their own Access to Information Act. And currently, I think 3 have already enacted. The others, we have taken them through the process, and we hope by the end of this year we'll have about half of the counties having enacted Access to Information Act. Now, in terms of also awareness, like this morning I was in Kawangware on public advocacy and training. So that we met the people in those areas. And so we are going to create awareness, and this is one of the achievements that we've seen so far, is that people are now getting to know that there's somebody who they can complain to in the event that they get public service delivery failures.
All right.
Yeah.
So, of course, that's very exciting to note that the Ombudsman has access and they're now more aware of these services and, of course, the fact that they can get this information. But what exactly is the Commission's plan to ensure that over the last few years, the mistakes that were done or the shortcomings of the last few years don't happen now that you are, of course, in power? So what exactly is the plan to ensure that things are done differently?
The first thing that I need, and we are going to invest in, is the human resources. Okay. It's very unfair or unfortunate that we can be going out there to enforce what we call mnyonge akona haki, and we have wanyonge in the Commission. So one of the things we have done is to ensure that the staff are motivated and they don't suffer from some of these things that we are complaining out there. Secondly, we are going to leverage on technology, and I'm going to maybe elaborate that later on, to reach a number of people. As you may be aware, we are not yet there countrywide. Yeah. And this is unfortunate because you can't have somebody, say, from Lamu going all the way, the nearest office is in Mombasa, to report a complaint. It's prohibitive. And so we are going to ensure that we open as many county offices as possible. There is a Senate resolution that requires us to open offices every financial year. And of course, because we are in a difficult physical space, we are going to negotiate with Parliament, excuse me, to give us more resources so that we can be able to open offices to get there. Now, the other thing is that we have as a complaint management information system, which is outdated. So we need to upgrade it to current status, so that, to the current one, so that we are able to deal with the issues on real time. Yes. We are encouraging, again, other things is that, so for us to be around out there, we are encouraging what we call, we'll adopt what we call Pasha Ombudsman, where you're going to use a USSD code so that you can be able to report a complaint and then we will be able to act on it, and then you track it. So we have learned what worked before, and we're going to improve. The other thing that we're going to deal with mainly would be a lot of training, because wherever we go, most of the guys are saying, we don't know about this, then can you be able to train us? And so we are looking at that as one of the things that we're going to do. And we are developing our current strategic plan, which is going to align all these things with the things that we are going to do, and we'll have key deliverables.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I can see that there are some great plans underway.
Yeah.
But for the Commission to be able to fulfill its mandate to work more effectively, what resources does it need?
Thank you for that question. Of course, financial resources and human resources. Currently, what we don't have is the money. In spite of the fact that the Constitution explicitly say that Parliament shall allocate enough resources for the Constitutional Commission, but the government resources are not enough. So we are going to leverage on partnership with development partners, where they're able to fund certain of our activities. We'll be able to do that. So we have to have another innovative ways of raising funds.
Yes.
Through fines, of course. When we find people who do not honor summons, that's one way of raising revenues. We are looking at a way of also trying to use the training to even private sectors on alternative dispute resolution, grievance redress management, as a way of raising our own revenue. Human resources is another challenge.
Yes.
We have a staff establishment about 272, but in post we are less than that. We are having about half. So you can imagine we are about 110 doing all this, and because the complaints are now increasing, because people are getting to know, then we need to have more people to be employed to be able to enable us to reach and execute our mandate. But all is not lost. We, as I mentioned, I alluded to, we're going to be big on technology.
Yeah.
One of the things that we're working with some people to develop an application where you can record, you can send your complaints anonymously. Once that is done, we are able to receive it and process it. So that means that anybody in Lamu can send to us their complaint without physically having to go to our Mombasa office to be able to have it addressed, and we'll be able to do that. So we will leverage on technology to ensure that we compensate for lack of physical presence in the other parts of the country, and to get the people there. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Now, sir, you've mentioned that there are a lot of challenges that the Commission is currently facing that are really hindering its progress. And the fact that these challenges are playing a major role in just not being able for you to be able to fulfill your mandate. So what exactly are some of the solutions that we have to be able to just move forward and kind of work in a way that you're able to fulfill your mandate and to be able to serve Kenyans at best?
Well, one of the things is that we are engaging the Parliament to increase our allocation.
Yes.
Like this time, they did not reduce our budget, which we had asked for them. So next time we will be able to ask them to increase that allocation so that we employ more people to be able to do this work. And of course, it would be evidence-based. I mean, if the whole of last year we processed about 2,300 complaints, today, half a year, we have already surpassed that. That means that by the end of this year, we're probably going to get more than 200% increase in complaint. And that, to resolve that, we require more people, and so we're going to do that. But at the same time, we have to think outside the box to raise money, and that is why we are looking at the various methods of raising funds, partnering with the development partners to fund some of our activities, and also, like, for example, when we have the public education and awareness, we can partner with local radio stations and TVs so that we are able to have town hall meetings and, you know, just get to educate the Kenyans on their rights, and then they'll be able to do that. Now, that would be one of the ways of making sure that we reach quite a number of people with the little resources that we have. The other thing is that, as I told you, there's this app that we are trying to develop for recording complaints anonymously. I'm not sure we will be able to charge, but we are thinking if we are able to put in something like a convenience fee, like right now when people go to get government services through the e-citizen, they pay a convenience fee of 50 shillings.
Yes.
If we can get that to share with the person who is giving us the software for purposes of maintenance, but also regenerating revenue, that will go a long way in ensuring that our processes are sustainable. A number of donors have come back.
Okay.
There are quite a number of interesting. We had a good relationship with the UNESCO. We lost them, but now we have, they're coming back. We have other development partners like GOtv. We had just a meeting with them in in March, and they said they're considering, once they have their work plan for this financial year, they're going to look at areas in which we can be able to partner with them, and then they would be able to do that. So we're looking at both inwardly and outwardly to be able to raise funds to be able to deal with the issues that we need to deal with.
Okay, sir. And what exactly is your commitment as the chairperson of this commission that will continue to offer efficient and expeditious services to the public? So what exactly is your plan as the chairperson?
Well, the first thing is that we need to build public trust in the institution. There's a trust deficit in this country. And I can speak to the Kenyan today and look at them in the eye and tell them, what you see is what you get. Okay. We mean what we say, and we say what we mean. So if we say we're going to do this, it will be done under my watch. The other thing is that they should not be afraid, because if they have an information, let them bring it to us. They don't have to even indicate their names. Our Act allows us to have what we call anonymity in terms of reporting to us, so that we also protect them, because some of them happen to be doing whistleblowing, and so they would be at risk, and I would protect my sources so that we would be able to do their work. The other thing is that going forward, we're going to have robust engagement in terms of with the people and in terms of the counties and all those kind of things. For example, we do spot checks. Just yesterday, we were at Mama Lucy Hospital trying to see the kind of service delivery that is being offered by the county government. And I realized that people really are suffering out there because, like, for example, in a ward which we are supposed to carry 20, we had over 40 women. And this situation is some of the things that we are going to deal with going forward and addressing them. So we will ensure that whatever it is that we take on, we see it to its fruition, and that we see it to be done, and that the mwananchi would have trust in us, that it can come to us and we'll be able to help them to realize whatever it is that they need to do.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And of course, as we wind up, maybe you can give your last remarks to Kenyans who are watching so that they feel encouraged, they feel to get that, that trust back in, of course, the Commission and the work that you've been doing over the last few months, and of course, the Commission as a whole over the last decade. Maybe you could just speak to them and just have a one-on-one conversation as if no one's watching.
To the Kenyan people, I think they used to know the Ombudsman with the former, or is it the current Rarieda MP. They would just think that Ombudsman is Otiende Amolo. I'm telling them that that was then. Now we have another one, and they have a formidable ally in us, and they should feel free to reach us. I carry out an open door policy. Okay. I can be seen anytime. I don't need appointments. There's no serious protocols. As I told you, even this morning we were in Kibera. I was in my jeans and working. On the ground. So I'll be listening to the ground. I'll be seeing it. In fact, I'm urging Kenyans to come out in large numbers, because after that we are going to Makueni before the end of this month, and we'll be in Nyeri, where we'll be having these things, the public advocacy and awareness, and then we will look inwards to enforce our decisions. A number of people think that we are paper pushers. To those who think that way, I've got news for them, because we are not going to relent. We will not flinch. We will ensure that we enforce our mandate fairly but firmly. And we would be fair to the people that we are going to work with. And we tell them that the first thing, and this is what we do, we engage in dialogue.
Okay.
It is only after dialogue fails that then we will crack the whips. So if we can cooperate and do what needs to be done, things will be done. Yeah. So to the Kenyan people, I can guarantee you, under my watch, that we shall be your greatest ally, and we shall work together to ensure that the framers of the Constitution are not disappointed when they created this position, because it is supposed to ensure that the government, both national and county government, function effectively and efficiently.
All right.
Thank
you so much for coming on the show. We appreciate your time. And of course, it's nice to see that the clarity with which you seem to have your plans underway and things are working. And we hope they continue to work under your watch, of course. So thank you so much. That is Mr. Charles Dulo, Chairperson, Commission on Administrative Justice, Office of the Ombudsman. And right here, we've been having this conversation on how you, of course, can be able to get information. And if you need this information, he said that you need to be open, you need to be trusting, and you need to know that they are here to make Kenya work and to be able to just be fair and give you all the oversight that you need. So thank you so much once again for being on the show. And yes, we hope to continue seeing the good work that the Commission is doing. And of course, not just for, Nairobians, but for the entire nation.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much for having me. It was a pleasure.
All right. Thank you so much. And of course, we will continue